Hey everyone, happy Tuesday. We just got on Sunday our January Azure Standard order and wanted to go through what we ordered. Um, for those of you who don't know, Azure Standard is an online grocery store. They're sourcing things, I believe, directly from farms. Most of their things are organic. You can buy in bulk, which for us, for things like flour, works out really, really well because one 5-pound bag of flour that you would get from the grocery store lasts me for 2 rounds of making sourdough, and I make sourdough pretty much on a weekly basis over the winter. So it just does not, it's not really economical for us. Also, our local grocery store does not sell organic flour. So you can just assume all of the wheat and everything has been sprayed with herbicides and pesticides, and not a good situation. We don't want that in our bodies. So I'm going to talk about what we got. We did go ahead and break down everything because it comes in bulk. Obviously, you've got to put it away and do this and that, but I'll talk about our process with that. So something that we did do new this time that we've never gotten from them before was this, let's see, how many pounds is it? It is, well, it doesn't say how many pounds, but it's essentially like this box full of produce. And so I think what they try to do is send current in-season produce from various places. So we got some oranges. It's between a clementine and a regular orange. They were bigger than clementines, but we got some oranges, apples. We got onions, beets, sweet potatoes, which they were like the white sweet potatoes, which we wouldn't again have at our local grocery store. So that was really cool. Onions. Sorry, I'm trying to remember what else they sent. Oh, they sent some zucchini in there. So I assume, again, some of this is coming from California, just places that are not, close to us, because obviously zucchinis aren't in season right now. It's dead of winter and there's snow on the ground. So we got that and all of those things. I knew that we wouldn't know what we were getting basically until we got it, but there was twofold reason really for that. One, I wanted just some good organic in-season produce, a lot of it, because we do eat a lot of veggies and put things in soups and stuff this time of year. Also though, because we are starting a CSA this coming spring, and so I wanted to see, I think this box of produce was about $44. And so I wanted to see, okay, for $44, how much are we getting? And I mean, it was a good hefty amount. So that was great. The other thing I got, which again, we've already vacuum sealed it and divided it, but was a huge 30-pound box of ginger, which this sounds very odd, I'm sure, but my honey makes the best ginger beer. I know it's not alcoholic, but it is fermented. It is so good. We love to drink it. I like to usually cut it with a little bit of soda water, just because, the sugar is what helps it ferment. And so it's a little on the sweet side, but if you cut it with a little soda water, it's amazing. It's great to drink, if you're having upset stomach. We like it just as a beverage with our dinner. So it's also ginger is technically a warming spice, but it's pretty refreshing in the summertime too. The other thing we make, or started making with ginger, because I had not previously done this, is candied ginger. And it is so easy to make. The fingers of ginger that we got were pretty small. I'm not sure if you can see, they're just not massive each. So to have to cut each of those into a 1/8 inch, it was a lot. And then to lay them out and divide them out is also a lot. So a lot of work, but again, candied ginger is great for upset stomachs, and really, really helpful. for that. And then again, just kind of a nice sweet treat if you like something like a little sweet, a little spicy to munch on. So that was great. This is the Sierra Nevada Cheese Company butter. We got about 12 of these. There was a 12 pack of these. And last time we got like a big block of their butter and just divided it. These are a good size that we'll use just individually. You could even cut them in half, but we basically freeze them, and then as we need them, we'll take them out, put them in the fridge, and let them kind of thaw out that way. So that's great. I ordered sharp cheddar, and we got mozzarella instead. I ordered a big 5-pound block of sharp cheddar. I've never had like the wrong item come in a box, and it came with a smaller 5-pound bag of the whole wheat fine bread flour, and so I'm guessing they just threw the wrong one in the bag. Doesn't usually happen, but we love cheese, we'll eat it anyway. So we ended up with mozzarella. It was 5 pounds, and we just divide it and vacuum seal it. We really use our vacuum sealer quite a lot, so it's a great tool if you're thinking about getting one. If you were going to start buying in bulk, it is a very useful thing to have. So we raise our own pork and our own chickens, so we have no need to get those at the store. However, we do not have a red meat source other than venison when we hunt. We do only hunt in legal season here in Virginia. So, but I also will say venison is not as easily cooked well, and various parts are not cooked as easily well. So like for me, I don't do a very good job of cooking venison. We've made jerky. I'm actually corning some. I'm in the fridge right now, doing it in like a salt brine basically, and then we'll light smoke it. And you know, I'm sure that will be delicious. But like the tenderloins, you know, deer's very lean, and so it tends to dry out very quickly, and so like we have found pretty much just the best way to cook venison is just to do it in a crock pot, you know, with making sure like it's covered in liquid so that it doesn't dry out. So have been looking for like a good source of beef that is well raised and high quality, and so this is the Azure Farm. They call it their Piedmontese beef and top sirloin. So we got about 5 pounds of sirloin steak. We don't eat it, like we don't eat steak super often, so and like one of these would be like we'd split that on a dinner between myself and my daughter. Like neither of us would eat this whole thing. So we got that. We got a 25-pound bag of all-purpose flour. I do like making sourdough with whole wheat, but it definitely makes it a lot denser. So using all-purpose flour, it gives like a sourdough bread a nice chewy texture. You can of course use bread flour, but I like the white all-purpose flour. And so 25-pound bag of that, and have already used some of it. We also have like a smaller canister that we keep it in. And then we get a 25-pound, ooh, I just dumped a bunch of sugar on the floor. Good job. Be sweeping that up. 25-pound bag of cane sugar, raw cane sugar. Again, it's organic. And use it just like you would granulated sugar baking. Obviously, we use it for like the ginger beer, the candied ginger, what have you. So that is pretty much, I'm trying to remember. I'm pretty sure, yeah, that's everything that we got. Last time we did an Azure Standard order, we got a couple smaller things of flour. We got a 25-pound bag of black beans, which we're probably like a quarter of the way through. And then oil is another one. I love Azure Standard's olive oil. We got a big bulk thing of that. You can even get it so big as to have like bulk totes of oil if you use that much. We just won't, and it would probably spoil if we got that much at one time, so we don't. But Azure Standard is great. I have found all of their stuff to just be a very high quality. It's why, you know, like, everybody needs grace, y'all. Like, everybody makes mistakes, and I wasn't like super upset with like the cheese swap, right? Because it's like, we love cheese, and mozzarella, you know, it is great for fresh eating or, you know, melted on pizza, whatever. And, you know, again, I know that like, regardless of whether it's the raw milk stuff that I ordered, it's still like a good, high quality. So I'm not too worried about it, but that's our Azure Standard order. For this month, it will probably be a while before we need to do another one, so we probably wouldn't make another order until like end of February, and then it would come early March. So we did spend, it was like a little over $400 for this order. I am projecting everything we got to probably last us about 3 months. So, you know, like you take what you spend and you kind of amortize it over those 3 months. That is a lot if you were spending it like in a given month for one grocery haul, but because it will spread over time, like the beets that we got, these are humongous. And I made borscht not long ago, which is a Russian Slavic beet soup, which was amazing. So I probably won't be using them for soups, but like I do like to ferment beets, so that's probably what I'll be doing with those. Again, great for your gut, fermented foods. So yeah, that's probably the biggest Azure Standard order we've done, but you know, and ours usually are not that big. They're usually closer to like half that, but it will last for 3 months. And you know, I'm guessing like 25-pound bag of beans that we got, we've already had for 2 months, and it will probably last us another 3 at least. So, you know, you gotta, when you're kind of ordering in bulk, you kind of gotta do it slowly, because if you try to do everything all at once, it'll be a lot. But, you know, for us, like, we're just kind of slowly transitioning into that. And really my goal with doing this is like, we raise most of our own meat. In season, we do have a good amount of like fruits and vegetables coming out of the garden, so we don't, you know, necessarily need to get that stuff from the grocery store unless we want things like avocados and bananas, which obviously I can't grow here in Virginia. You know, in the wintertime, we have to buy more produce at the grocery store than we do during the spring and summer. But really the idea is to cut back on the amount that we have to go to the grocery store, and then just meal plan around like what we've got. And once you kind of get in the cadence of it, it actually ends up being a lot easier. Like, I know like when I was a single mom, it was like just Sophie and I, like having a roasted chicken, you know, was like a special thing. That was like a special dinner, right? For us, because we raise our own meat birds now, having like a smoked roasted chicken is like a very normal occurrence, and we just never get tired of it. Like, they're delicious. So you kind of figure out like what your staples are, and then you can build around that, and it makes it pretty easy. So that was our Azure Standard haul, guys. Let me know if you have any questions. Azure Standard's great. I could definitely make recommendations there. But how it works, I didn't explain this before. So we're part of a drop that's in our area. So it's a big 18-wheeler truck that comes across country, because I think Azure Standard is based in Oregon, comes across country, and they do, like, we're part of a certain area in Virginia that drop. And so where we have to drive to is about 30 minutes away. Everybody helps unload the truck. It's kind of like this really odd phenomenon. Like everybody unloads the truck and you have a point person that designates like the drop and like kind of administrates everything. But ours is about 30 minutes away. And again, it makes it super easy. It's like a once every couple month thing that you have to do that probably cuts back on us having to go to the grocery store like several times a week. So that's really, really nice. Anyway, guys, that's how it works. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.